In this video, I'm going to show you a radial layout with 3 buttons and 3 views. And I'm going to show you how they're connected because they're already animated. So you will learn how they work. I'm going to explain each thing, how it's connected, and show you a real life example. All right, let's get started. So this is example number 2 inside the Doozy UI. This is a simple scene. I'm going to play it now so you can see how it works. Let's also maximize this so you have a better viewing angle. Basically, it teaches you about Reactor. It just has a few words. Reactor is the animation engine inside Doozy UI, and it's responsible for whatever you see animated. Even if it's a color, a movement, or a frame-by-frame animation, Reactor is behind it. And as you can see, we have 3 buttons and some views. And that's pretty much it. We didn't want to make these examples too complicated to be easily understood by anyone. The way they work is very simple. So there is a flow graph that controls everything, and let's also see it in action. There we go. Let me put it right here. Can you see it? Yes, you should be able to see it. And here we have 3 portal nodes, these 3, and 3 UI nodes. The portal nodes capture the input from those 3 buttons, and the UI nodes are responsible to show and hide the views. And that's pretty much it. Other than that, you do not need to. By the way, this example is made without writing a single line of code. So it's just done all out of settings and callbacks and listeners, and that's it. All right, so let's click the first button, and you'll notice it gets activated and the connection jumps, and you see the view. Let's go for the second one, and we'll see this activates for a second and then jumps. And the third one is the same thing. Let's look at the node. So let's see the inspector. I just opened the node inspector, and this particular node, can you see it? Yeah. What does it do? It listens for when a UI button is clicked that has the category name button and the button name Reactor. Which button is it? Well, it's this one. And this button can be found under a Radial Menu. And this is it. It has a category called button and a button name called Reactor. So whenever you click this button, it doesn't matter where this flow is because this will override. So even if I'm here, this will jump. It doesn't care. And the same thing is for these ones. Of course, this particular setup wouldn't be a viable option for a very complex UI because you do not want things to jump from one to the other. But it does allow you to create, if you're careful, to create complex graphs that can jump from one node to another by using these portal connections. This also works going back. It can jump to the previous node. But that's a more advanced example, and we'll get to that in later tutorials. All right. So now that you know that by clicking a button, you jump to a UI node. So let me show you this node. And here, this node says the following. It says, when you enter node, so when this node becomes active, you just entered it, the graph started using it, it will hide all the views. Sorry, this is an option that is not enabled. It will show views, and which views will it show? Well, the ones called any view that has the category view and the name Reactor. And that's pretty much it. When we leave this node, so basically another node inside the graph becomes active, on exit node will run, and this exit node will hide the view with this name. So basically the show and hide of this particular view happens only in this node. You do not have to care whether you're going to another node or in another place. You do not care and you do not have to hide this view. And the same goes for the other nodes. So again, this play mode, right? UI node, so you can see here the type of the node, does the same thing. When you enter the node, it shows the view called view play mode. And when you exit, it will hide it. It will, in an animated way, you can also say instant animation. So if I change this to instant, check it out, it will be an instant change. You no longer have an animation. If I say an animated way, now it looks better. So that's so the graph is responsible for showing and hiding views by reacting to buttons. All right, so how does the button animation work? Let's dive in. Let's go first to the radial layout. There is here, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, a rect mask. I'm gonna disable it just so you can see this particular radial layout. You can change the radius. You can change the angle. All right. You can change the maximum angle. Let's bring it back. And even the start angle, so you can move it around. So you can imagine that if you want to put the menu on the right side of the screen, you just change the start angle, and there you go. You can also rotate them if you need to do that, right? It all depends on your particular use case. I'm gonna undo all of these actions, all right? And you can also reorder them, and they're gonna maintain their positions on this radial layout. So let's move Reactor at the end, and they just swap places. They also work, by the way. So it doesn't matter if I change them, they will work. Check it out. As you can see, they swapped places. All right. So this is the radial layout. You can play with it. I advise you to open this example, follow this video. You can pause it or stop it or whatever makes you happy, and just play with the settings. All right. So like I said, what makes this animation work? Well, there are actually two listeners. So these are the effects that you're seeing here. Let me zoom in on them so you can see them. All right, this is a good view. And let's reset them. So here you have 4 animations. All right, you have number 1, and let's play it. Number 2, let's play it. Number 3, now they're gonna look a bit different because I'm starting them at different times. You can also do that if you want to. And this is how they look. Let's stop. Let's actually reset them and start them at the same time. What activates them? It's very simple. On the button, you have a UI view listener. So do you remember when I said that when you click the button, the graph shows the view or hides the view? Well, there are some UI view listeners on the button itself. So whenever this view with the category view and the name reactor, so basically the view that this button is showing, so when it's shown, it will trigger play for these animations. And it will also also disable the interactable state of the button. I cannot click it. If I'm gonna click another button, this will be enabled. Check it out. And now I can click it. I cannot click this one, but I can click this one. So you see what I'm getting here? You can even block interactivity so that your user doesn't try to go to the same view that he's already at. And let's look here. So basically we're playing a color animation, we're disable interactability and playing these sprite animations. I don't think I've shown you what a sprite animation is, if I recall correctly. So let me show you right now. So basically it's a set of PNGs, and I can also preview them. Actually, let's play the animation at a very slow speed, 10 seconds. So basically, it's played frame by frame, and it goes like that. So this is the animation. And there are 4 things because they are rotated to 90 degrees, if I recall. Let's check. So active effect 1 is set to 0. Active effect 2, it's set to 90 degrees, 180, and this should be to 70. Perfect. So this is how this particular effect works. It's not really that complicated. It's just a setup thing. So let's come here. And there you go. So this is how the buttons work. What else are you seeing here? Well, here in play mode, you can preview the 4 types of play mode that are available for any animation. Check it out. So this animation has normal, ping pong, spring, and shake with different settings, of course. All the animations have these settings. Some make sense. You can use this play mode in some situations, but not all of them. It depends on your particular use case. And let's check it out. The normal way goes from start to the end. So from A to B, 2 points. And you can see it here. So from A to B. Ping pong animation goes from A to B to A, but in the same duration. So basically, if from A to B, it takes 1 second. From A to B, it will be 0.5s and 0.5. So back and forth. This is a ping pong. Then you have a spring. Everybody knows what a spring is. So basically, it goes, jumps, and then comes back to just like an elastic animation. And shake is value randomly shakes between start and B. It's just a random shake. And that's it. You're also seeing here some other frame by frame animations that have been properly adjusted to work with this particular setup. Let me show you. Let's dive inside of them. Notice that I'm doing this in play mode. You should do the same. Just enter play mode and play with the settings. So this is view, play mode. This is the left side. And here we have these 2 animations. Let me show you. Not this one, but this one. So we have the first one. This is one. And the second one. There you go. Of course, they look a bit funny now than they did before because they weren't started at the same time. So I'm gonna reset them and play. And this is what you're seeing. Of course, you can change the color. You can have fun with it. Done. It's that easy. So yeah, there's nothing fancy here. Let's just reset and play. All right. And this is just an image. We have a mask here. All right. This is the image, a screenshot. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Here we have some animations, and of course they're the same animation. The animation moves this this dot, and it is the same animation with a different play mode. Let me show you, just so you understand what you're seeing. It's really not. So this is on the play modes. So normal. I'm gonna go to the mover. So it's basically this. And you will see here that we have move and we have normal play mode. For ping pong, it's going to be the same setting, but with ping pong play mode. And of course, spring and shake, respectively, spring and shake. I'm just showing you how this works. There you go. So that's pretty much it. The third example shows you eases. So basically, it's this particular setting. Every animation has an ease. So you have this big list of eases, and this is a preview for them. So let's maximize and let's play. And there you go. You have your eases. Out easy, just so you can preview them. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this example. Look at the graph. look at the buttons, play with the radial layout, and you should be able to reproduce this in your own projects and start working with them. All right, thank you so much. See you in the next tutorial.